as always, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell to be notified for future videos.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Cuda's Diecast Customs video. I am Cole, and today we are working with the DIBS Boys once again and doing a Mad Max Gaslands style build. And today we decided to use this DMC Delorean made by Hot Wheels. Let's jump into it. Alright, as we break this card down, I want to give you guys the general plan for this build for this month. As I said before, this month's theme is more of like a Gaslands, like Mad Max type style build off, and I wanted to do it with a car that you probably really wouldn't see done in this style if it was in a movie or if it was done in a game, or maybe it is and I'm just wrong. But I wanted to use a DeLorean because it is different and maybe it stands out a little bit. So the goal for this car this time around is very, very simple. We are going to take it apart, as you see here. We're going to strip the paint. We're going to get it down to more of that quote-unquote aluminum style that it normally would come in, because a DeLorean in blue looks very, very odd in my opinion. And we are going to dirty it up. Remember, this car does not really rust, so we're just going to cover the body in dust powders and different stuff like that, and we're going to add a bit of a flare to the rear. So we're going to take out that little engine that this car came with, and we're going to put in something a lot bigger. You'll see in a little bit. With that said, we're going to just give this thing a Mad Max flair. We're not going to do all the weapons and stuff. We're just going to lift it and give it big tires and put a big item in the rear. With that said, let's move on to the chum bucket and start stripping this car. So we're going to move on to the chum bucket as of right now, and we're going to plop it in. We're going to make sure it's covered, seal it off, and give it a good shake. Remember, guys, to give it a good shake just so it covers everything and you can get the best removal coverage as possible. Once it is out of the chum bucket, this is what it looked like. It stripped pretty easily. The new paint from these things come off really, really easily. We're going to then grab our wire brush and we're going to just clean this thing up as best as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect since it is a Mad Max build. We don't really have to worry about perfection this time around, which is very, very nice because it just saves time, because we don't have to clean this thing completely. We don't have to wax it, make it shine. We just got to clean it off so that residue from the stripper is completely removed from the casting. So now, guys, we're going to move on to our base. As you see here, we got some work to do on our base. Like I said, we're going to remove the little axle holders on the back because I want to do something like I was mentioning. We're going to add a little bit of a big something, aka a big 3D printed engine that we got from Full Custom Diecast. We also got the frame and the wheels from him as well. He does a lot of cool 3D work, so I had this sitting around for a project that I never really got to, so I decided this would be a great opportunity to use all of those pieces that he provided for me years ago and put them to good use. As you see here, we're going to remove the little like wheel spokes on the bottom because it needs to be flattened as flush as possible so we can add that suspension aspect to it. It will really help. So as you see here, we just have a washer, a little washer, and that's going to be our engine, like our engine mount, it per se, because I didn't have any styrene, so I was just like, what is small enough to fit in there, but also kind of creative and different to, I don't know, just stand out a little bit. But so this is what I came up with. I just decided to grab a little washer. We marked it as you saw, and we're going to grind it just so it is flush and it doesn't sit up, because I kind of wanted it just to sit in that groove that we grinded down. So once that was finished grinded down, we were going to just grab some super glue. I don't know what kind of super glue this is. It's just your, your Elmer's super glue, but this stuff works great. I really do like it. It's one of the better ones. It's this clear stuff. It doesn't really give you that like powdery look when it dries. It just clears. It just dries clear. It's I like it. It's handy. It's different. So as you see here, we've got it to fit in the space that we wanted it to. We glued it down, and then we're gonna let it dry. Once it was dry, I can show you guys a quick little mock-up here. So this was the goal. We were gonna put this engine in the rear, and it sat on top of that washer pretty well, I would have to say. So next steps is we got to clear the interior. We also did this with the glass, so I just decided to grab a Sharpie marker, outline around the engine, and just start cutting away with our Dremel tool. It was actually a pretty easy process. Luckily, this plastic, as everyone knows, is pretty easy to cut and trim and do stuff with, so it's really handy to be able to do some simple cuts like this just to make something like a 3D printed engine fit.
Meanwhile, back in the fish tank.
So after we started letting the base dry, we did do some work off camera. We cleaned the whole car, as you guys know, and then did some basic details. So I didn't really have a dark gray to show the plastic pieces on the car, so we just used a silver, so just to help it stand out a little bit. And then after we finished that, we also did paint the bumpers black to match. As I said, this is the base with the painted engine, the new suspension piece, and as you see in your far right corner, the black wheels that we'll be using. So right now, I did also create off camera some custom exhaust. I didn't want to do too flary of exhaust, so I just used a little tubing and then a little bigger tubing to put on top of it for the tip. And we created these like side exhausts. All we did was just bend them at a pretty much a 90-degree angle to fit under the suspension here, just so it looks like they're popping out. I don't know, just a little thing that I like to do is just to hand make the parts sometimes. It's pretty fun, and it's also a challenge at the same time. If you guys ever are wondering how to do that, please let me know. I would love to show and share how to do something like this if you guys are curious. Just in case you're not able to afford 3D parts or anything, you can always do this by hand too. I like to just do it just to be different and creative. Once we were done with that and letting that dry, we did move on to the casting itself again. So I just want to give a little background on the casting. So we used a lot of inspiration from Mad Max, Vice Grip Garage, as a lot of you may know as car people. Vice Grip Garage did build a car kind of like this, not really Mad Max style, but a car with a giant LS swapped engine in a DeLorean. So that is what kind of sparked my interest in doing this, because I just thought the DeLorean with the big old engine in it was just a really cool thing. So I was just like, what if we just do that, but add a flair of, big tires and it looking scary and rusty. So that's just a little thought and a little background information on the build itself. As you guys see here, that we did paint the base and the engine, and we are adding some rust powder. I didn't want to do too crazy for this engine. I kind of just wanted it to look worn out and kind of just black and sooty and dirty. And honestly, that really was the goal that we were able to pull off, which is great. So as you see here, this is just an overview of the base. It looks awesome. The exhaust is all rusty, the base is all rusty, the engine's all rusty, but the thing is, since it's DeLorean, it doesn't really rust, so we had to accumulate the rust in different spots, so that's why we did it underneath the car and in the engine and such, which makes sense, I hope. So now that we are done with our base, it got clear coated after we were finished powdering it. We're going to move on to some basic details. So again, with the Vice Grip Garage DeLorean, he put in all yellow lenses on his. So I just thought that would be a cool detail to add on this DeLorean as well. Plus it gives you kind of that like late 80s, 90s type of vibe with the whole car. We did these, and then we also did the taillights in a very bright red that I honestly think helps it stand out. details were done, we're going to move to our tires. So the axles that I decided to use for this were a little bit too big. So we had to drill out the center caps of our wheels a little bit to make them fit. Once we did that, we measured them to the base and to the body, and we put it together, and we finalized our car. With that said, guys, let's go see what we started with. As you guys remember, this is what we started with. It was a bare bones DMC DeLorean made by Hot Wheels. And today we are working with the DIBS Boys to create a off-road Mad Max style build. And today, I think we really achieved that. Let's go see what we finished with. And here is our final results for the month of September's off-roading Mad Max style build for the DIBS Boys. As you guys see here, this car is completely different from what we started with. What we started with was a very bland and simple car that we turned into a Mad Max style off-roading beast. There is a giant big block in the back. There is giant off-road tires. It's on a custom frame, and it has big exhaust to really make this car roar. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this one was a much longer video, and it was a much needed video for not only me, but I know for you guys as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to go stop by the other DIBS Boys and watch their videos as well, because I know they're going to create some awesome things as well. If you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know down below. I'd love to hear them, and I love to read them. And guys, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one.